With RouteStar, you can set up customer-specific pricing. That means every customer can have a different price for every single item you sell. So I'm going to start out by going to customer detail. I'm just going to search for a customer. Remember, you can search for any portion of any customer name, address, contact, whatever in the system. So this finds every instance of the word Rosalind. I'm going to go to this customer detail. And from within customer detail, I click the pricing tab. So from pricing tab, I can set up the items. All I got to do is add an item. It adds the description. If there's a cost set up in QuickBooks, the cost field would be populated. And I can set my sales price. Other fields on here you'll use, default quantity. For instance, trip charge. Let's say you charge a trip charge and you auto-generate your invoices for your drivers. You might want to consider putting a default quantity of 1 in there, so every time that invoice gets created or that item gets added to an invoice, a default quantity of 1 will go in there, so the driver doesn't have to remember to add a quantity. You can also put a fill cap or a par in there for every item. You can choose frequency-specific pricing. For instance, you might want one item to appear on every weekly service, but then you might want a different item to appear on the quarterly service or some other frequency of service. The class column is a QuickBooks field. You can set a class on a per line item basis. So when this invoice posts to QuickBooks, this particular line will have this class. Now remember, you can also set up route specific classes as well. This class field overrides the route specific class field. If the class here is blank, then the route class will fill in when the invoice posts to QuickBooks. Other things you'd use in here is you can set your department. Maybe you want to set a specific department for an item. It also tracks the last order date or last sales date, last sale quantity, etc. You can put a sort order in here as well. This controls the order in which these items will go on an invoice. I can also go to the item list, and I can go to my item list here. I can search for an item just by typing in a portion of the name or description of the item. So here I'm looking for a 10-gallon bottled water. If I click on 10-gallon, it takes me to customer or to item detail, and I can click on customer pricing tab. This is going to show me every customer that takes this item. What's nice about this though is it shows you what the sales price is by customer. I can also go to items, customer pricing. This is the overall customer price list for all your customers and all the items they take in one screen. Remember, this is all exportable to Excel. So if I go to menu, I can update or export this to Excel. I can also build customer pricing from invoice history from QuickBooks. Let's say you're starting out with RouteStar. There's two things that need to happen when you start with RouteStar. One is you have to build your route schedule. Two is you have to set up customer specific pricing. If you've been using QuickBooks for a while, then RouteStar can build the customer pricing based on invoice history. So then that means all you need to do is enter your routes. And of course, our customer success department can help coordinate a data conversion from another program that you may be using. If I go to back to menu, I can also copy pricing from one customer to another. So I can select the original customer, select the destination customer, and if the item exists, what do? Do you update existing, which means the destination customer price, if the item is already in there, will update from the original, the originating customer. Very handy and very easy to add pricing. Another thing that might happen to you is you may add a new item and you want that item to be copied to all the customers' pricing. All you got to do is open that item within RouteStar, and there's a button up here in the upper right hand corner, add to all customers. Pretty plain English and easy to do. If you have any more questions, this is kind of just an overview. If you have any more questions, please contact our sales department.